Excellent. Thank you guys for joining us. We have over 250 of you guys that have decided to join us today. So we're very excited about this. We're going to be talking about revitalizing group fitness strategies for success in 2024. I think we all know that we need a lot of revitalizing, so I'm very excited to see you all here. I am Sarah Cooperman. I'm the CEO of SCW Fitness Education and Water in Motion and Seat Fitness. And I'm welcoming today, I'm going to start way over on the side with Tricia Murphy-Madden. She is the Fitness Leader of the Year Award winner by IDEA, and she's the co-founder of Fit Programming, which was formerly Xavier Fitness. She was also formerly the onset director for Amazon Halo and has directed a multitude of modalities. And so we're really excited to have Tricia here. We're excited also to welcome her. She's going to be presenting at California Mania. That'll be a lot of fun. We have Gail Bannister-Munn. I'm sure you guys recognize Gail. She's the flexibility specialist, core yoga and Pilates coach with the New York Jets football team. If she can make them listen to her, you better listen to her on this webinar. She's a little scary. She's the owner of the Bannister Method. She's not scary at all. She's the owner of the Bannister Method studio out of Long Island, West Babylon, New York, etc. She's also the regional Group X manager for Crunch Fitness in New York, Queens, Bronx, and Brooklyn. She's got 6 locations that she manages. And we have Melissa Lane. Melissa is the kinesiology department faculty member at the University of North Georgia. She holds a master's of education degree in exercise science and a bachelor's degree in physical education. She also wrote several of the SCW certifications. She has always have sold out sessions. Nutrition coaching for fitness professionals, nutrition, hormones, and metabolism. And she also contributed to our active aging certification. We're very thankful to have Melissa on this evening. And Stacy Vandiver, I want to do Vandiver because this woman is amazing. She's the owner and CEO of Soul Body Fitness, a group fitness education company that develops on-trend functional and results-driven mind-body style classes for health clubs and studios. She's built this program. So Soul Body is a global company in over 300 clubs worldwide with 4 different unique programs. So this is very interesting to watch how this was grown. So I want to welcome these amazing women to our panel. And I'm very excited. I already have over 50 of you that are joining us. I'm sure we're going to get another 30 more. We're going to dive right in. First thing, I'm going to scare all of you right now, and I'm going to talk about what the heck is happening with certifications. Okay, what is happening with certifications? Stacy, I'm starting with you. What do you think is going on in the group exercise arena with personal training?
Well, I know we touched on this a little bit before. We all jumped on and kind of had our team call, and I really love this topic. We've all seen a shift, or many of us. What I've noticed is a lot of there's been a big movement in the boutique studio space, and there has been a big shift for instructors from what we have seen, teachers we have seen go to the boutique studio side. Is that going to change, Sarah? We don't know yet. But as of right now, since COVID, what we've really seen is that big shift. And there's a number of reasons for it. Smaller community, more laser focused on programming, higher pay, their own education, our certifications. So there's lots of reasons of this shift. But I can't wait for you to share, what you want to say, because I do think there may be another shift back in.
Casey and I were talking about this. I'm also going to hit you up. but unfortunately, Exponential Fitness, they own Stretch Labs, Cycle Bar, Pure Bar. There's what is that?
Pilates.
Yeah, the Pilates studio, Roundhouse, the boxing studio. 80% or 8 out of their 10 programs are losing money. They had 30 clubs close last year. They never disclose this to their investors. Their investors are suing them. So you're going to see a lot of those Exponential Fitness facilities closing. And they're group fitness instructors that are really focusing in on their branded programs are basically probably going to be out of work. But Gail, Crunch is very effective as running their own group fitness programming modalities. Can you please share with us?
A lot of companies, I believe, are running towards running their own in-house programs. And I think it's because of the lack of, like you just said, a lot of the instructors have transitioned into the boutiques. And I believe that's the most seasoned instructors that can create. I think the new generation that's coming into the branded programs aren't, some of them are not certified, so we can train them to watch a video, and then we can supervise them from there. It's kind of like, I call it the startup. Like, here's the manual, here's the video, here's the music, here's the time clock, go. And it's only a 30-minute class, so how many people can you kill in 30 minutes? Back in my day, it was a 60-minute class, and you better be cranking out choreography and method to the madness and breaking things down. So I do think they're very successful in rolling out those type of classes. And I believe that when we came out of COVID, I think we were one of the first clubs that came out of COVID successfully, and members came back into it. Do I agree with it? I'm old school. I like to create. So I think they should have a balance of branded and creativity at the same time. I think the only program they're allowed to create is Zumba, is the only class that they're allowed to be able to create, because it's a Zumba brand. But Zumba classes these days, I don't think anybody's teaching a true Zumba class anymore. You got hip hop in the Zumba class, stuff like that. But I believe that's the only class that they can create outside of it. But they're doing a great job. I mean, the only thing I don't like about the brand, and I think Les Mills does a really good program, is, people may not agree with me on that, they have tape 1, tape 2, tape 3, tape 4, tape 5. So there's layers and progressions, and you can mix and match. There's no mix and matching. So once Absolution is not going to have Absolution out, that was it. It's been Absolution.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in and ask Melissa. Melissa traveled around, I think you were doing this during COVID, or right near the end, and certifying training instructors. What did you see?
I jumped in, I want to say, as soon as the clubs opened back up, which was probably June of 2020. And I was the one that was going around and teaching the new instructors how to do those Crunch opens with 11 programs, and we train 8 of them on the first day. And we had some people that were great. I had a daughter whose mom taught in Birmingham. She was in Auburn. But we had other people who literally said, I'm the girlfriend of the owner, or I came in and applied for a position. And those were the ones where, like Gail said, you taught them, here's the protocol, here's the app that you use for your downloading your seconds, here's your music, here's how you work it. You have 6 months to get certified. And at the time, that was the best we could do.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And Trisha, what are you finding? We were talking a little bit about live versus online. And I think like Bar Above is still certifying 40 at a pop.
I mean, we hold our quarterly events, our quarterly virtual trainings in addition to our in-person educations. And yeah, it's always above 40, sometimes up to 60 and 70, like last quarter. To me, it's more for me about acknowledging that wherever somebody enters into our industry, whatever that point of entry is, it's good by me. So in my mind, like whether they go in through a solid core or a Pure Bar or a Cycle Bar or any of the other big brands, CrossFit or anything else, and they're put through the process of learning someone's system, being able to follow a queuing and coaching hierarchy, whatever that is, even if they eventually can't teach in that facility. I don't really have a judgment on where businesses are right now, but to me, wherever they enter, we just have to be available to support them in growing in their career. So I'll take any instructor, even if they've only taught at Solid Core. I know that the skills that they learned at Solid Core, Pure Bar, any of them will actually help them be incredible instructors at an Equinox or a Crunch or anywhere else. I also feel like right now we're at this really incredible place that I think a lot of people aren't really thinking about, which is we're about to enter a space where medical and fitness come together. And we're finally getting to a place where the medical community is really excited about what we're doing. And we're seeing it in research studies, we're seeing it in conversations. I'm involved with 2 insurance brands and bringing content to their clients. And here's what I'll say. I think that the instructors who maybe haven't taken the next step to get their accreditation through, say, an ACE or an ASM or an AFA, will start to understand that that will be sort of their base. They will no longer be able to just say, come through a bar above cert. They have to go get their base so that when a medical provider says, I want my insured or my patient to work within your system, you have to have these credentials. So I think we're about to get to a place where we will be taken very seriously. We will make more money. But unfortunately, what that'll do is just force everybody to get back to certification. So this period of time where it's been like free money, teach wherever you want to teach, you're certified and you're certified. I think that system is going to change because we're finally getting into a space where we really matter.
You really believe that the medical fitness community is really embracing us.
That's
very cool. And right before I turned the camera on, I said, you guys, be sure to disagree with each other. Well, I am jumping in. And if I see one more ad for Ozempic, okay, if I see Lifetime Fitness that now has medical fitness, they have doctors and nurses on staff to feed out Ozempic to people, and the research is documenting that there's been multiple deaths and illnesses, et cetera, due to this in Canada.
But I just want to clarify.
It's kind of scary, but I would love to, you're working with insurance companies. I would love to see the medical community embracing fitness, but I still think they want a drug, they want a pill, they want a shot that helps them get fit. Go ahead.
100%. I'm just saying to me, it's less about Ozempic. That's a piece of the story, right? That's a piece of what's happening now. And I think we'll continue to learn more about that. I'm not saying yes or no to that. I'm just saying that what's happening right now within the insurance community is they are working with the medical community and saying that if we can get people moving and we can provide them, we're providing on-demand content to insurance holders worldwide now. And we're doing that because the medical community is saying it's much easier to get people moving and they'll be healthier coming to us. Doesn't mean drugs are going away. Doesn't mean any of that, but there is a little bit of this happening. So if we can worry less about, oh my God, is Ozempic, overkill?
We need to keep it going. We need to keep, as professionals, I think what you're encouraging is that we emphasize that we are making the world healthier. Stacey, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Trisha. It's shifting. There are, I have a business partner that is in the medical wellness space, and he also is, with software where healthcare, health insurance company, gyms can be, the consumer can be reimbursed by their healthcare. This all is happening. It's called value-based care, and it's not going anywhere at all. It's a lot less expensive to get people moving. Now, I think that the tricky part that we all have to figure out is tracking. I mean, and going back to the Ozempic, it's such a touchy subject. It's not going anywhere. People have chosen to do it. That's their choice. What is our role in the fitness industry is to accept it, acknowledge it, and help them along their journey and understand that it's, there's an end here. There's a way, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And maybe it's not Ozempic at some point, but helping them along with the journey.
So what we're talking about is what's happening with consumer behavior.
Yeah.
Consumer behavior, number one thing we're seeing over and over again is wellness.
Big time.
And there was a wonderful comment by somebody, by Brittany, and Mo Hagan responded, in Canada, you're required to be certified. In America, you have your choice of certification organizations. It's not just ACE, AFA, NASM. SCW offers a huge array, 42 different certifications, both online and live, where people can take the online course and they can go to any mania across the USA, one of the 7 events, and get the live course free. Carter, who's running our certification, who runs this webinar tonight, reminded me that we're offering March Madness. You guys are basketball fans. And we're doing 25% off the SCW certs, which is $100 off there. I did it, good for me. Okay, what innovative strategies have you seen effectively increase group exercise attendance? And I'm gonna start with you, Stacy, because what strategies, what trends, which different programs do you see drawing people in?
Programs, I mean, because we're in the Soul Body creates programs in the mind body space. We're not a spin certification. We're not, I don't know, boot camp. We really kind of focus and hone in on the mind body space. Pilates, everybody knows it. It's up. One of the reasons we partnered with Total Gym, we have brought their education to online. Total Gym has a reformer that, in my opinion, is a beautiful, beautiful machine that can do so much more than a classical reformer. And that is huge, that you can bring, and this is a trend that I'm seeing, and I'm actually in this space now, is a box within a box. So if you can start managing and bringing certain programming, like a Club Pilates inside your gym, you've just created another amenity, another type of membership. You don't even have to have your gym member be a part of it. That could be a separate membership to someone outside of your gym or association. So there definitely some trend. I see trends more in the mind body space. People are moving. They recognize that they don't need to beat up their body to feel good. And I know all of us probably here on this entire webinar know that the numbers show people are not working out just for the aesthetics as much as they are for mental well-being and your physical well-being. And they understand that. And one of the, I think
I did want to ask Melissa, we were talking before we turned the camera on, and you said, I don't have a shortage of instructors. We have them, they're going to training. I'm like, what planet do you live on? But you please share some information on that.
So I'm in the suburbs of Atlanta, and we have plenty of instructors, with the exception of Aqua Fitness. We do not have enough water instructors. We have plenty of people actually in our club. We had to initiate, once we took our dots up off the floor at the club after COVID, when people could now stand wherever they wanted to, we still had so many people in class that we now had to initiate a registration and a check-in system. And even though the members will register and not always check in, especially if it's not an equipment-based class, they are vibing with each other. So we have created a community within our app where they can actually talk to each other. Hey, are you coming to class tonight? Melissa has new choreography. Hey, don't forget to come to Aqua early so you can get the right depth for your body. We have a great mix of pre-choreographed land and freestyle land, and the Aqua classes are pulling just as much as Les Mills is pulling. So,
but Melissa, it's, I mean, if you really listen,
Stacey,
sorry, go ahead.
I wanted to ask Gail. Gail, you're running these 6 clubs. So what do you see, like, what are the programs the instructors are drawn to? And what are the programs that the attendees, like what classes are getting filled up?
I mean, when I started working for the company, in my mind, I was kind of taken back with 30-minute classes. It took me a while to adjust to 30-minute classes, but 30-minute classes work because I just think people don't have, what's the word I'm looking for, the ability anymore to do a whole hour, to get distracted. So what works for us is like we have a 45-minute, we call it hit zone. It's like a CrossFit class. 45 minutes, you're in and you're out. They get it done. We have 30-minute ab class. We have 30-minute upper body, 30-minute lower body.
Mhm.
So they go from a 30-minute upper body to like belly button thighs class, and they'll stay for that. Oh, it's belly button, I'll stay. So we have more retention with 30-minute classes because they'll go belly button thighs to absolution to top it off. Wait, there's a yoga class coming in for 30 minutes. I'll stay and stretch. So even though it's not an hour, it's still 2 hours during the building because it's 30, 30, 30, 30, and they stay longer. So our retention has gone up. But for the instructors, I think instructors have now enjoyed teaching hit zone classes because it doesn't beat up the body anymore. It's coaching now. It's walking around and coaching, even in the stretching class that they're walking around and coaching, and the abs classes. So it doesn't beat their body up. I mean, I taught step classes like Melissa. I absolutely still miss it, but it doesn't, these new classes coming up don't beat the body up. It's just walking around and coaching. If I see an instructor taking a class with a member and with a class, it's just like they're getting their workout in with the class. But I just think the 30 minutes do work. I mean, in the beginning, I kind of was against it a little bit, but it works.
And Gail, like the 30-minute body part classes.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. That's really interesting.
And then they'll go from a hit zone to the studio for an absolution class and go, oh, we have a spin class. I'll get my cardio on and go for a 30-minute ride. And box out of that, they're out the door. So they're getting a little bit of everything, and they love it.
Yeah.
Yes,
And that's interesting because we have found that people want a full hour aqua class. Water in Motion, the program we offer, a 30-minute program, a 45-minute program, or the full hour program. You just pick how many tracks, how many songs you want to use.
Right.
People they started with the 30, but if somebody walks in the club, takes their clothes off, gets in the pool, takes their suit, gets out, hopefully they're wearing the bathing suit in the pool. If you've seen those people. And so then you go in the locker room, you take your bathing suit, you rinse it off, you dry off, you talk to people. They want a full hour. So
I think pool is different. I think once you take your clothes off the pool, you're going to stay for the hour.
But with the hit, you go in, I just put, even if I'm all disgusting, I put my stuff over and I'm out of there. Trisha, how can fitness clubs and instructors leverage technology to enhance the group fitness experience? We've got all the technology available. We still have online. We've got social media avenues, et cetera. How can we use this?
Well, I mean, I think that facilities have to see the digital experiences as sort of the gap fill for what they can and can't offer in their programming. So when you look at a group fitness schedule, and whether you're over, in the South there in Atlanta, where you guys have plenty of staffing, that's not always the case everywhere, right? That's very different in different communities. And I think we have to look at digital experiences as a way to serve customers at the different times in which they want to be a part of things. The 9:30 mom and the 5:30 post work consumer is there, but it's not like it used to be, right? We have people working from home. We have people with different hours than they used to have. And especially post-COVID, people are much more into working out at what time their body wants to work out and that fits in their lifestyle. So what I would do is, like Swerve is a company I work with, and what they do is they cultivate online experiences that are directly geared towards the customer in the room, not the home customer, not the home consumer. They talk and speak like they're in a group fitness room, and that class can be offered at 2:00 or 4:00 in those off-peak hours, and then the class schedule is a little bit fuller. You have to remember in group fitness, more is more, and people are also now accustomed to digital experiences. So I would have a Peloton in every gym I owned, if I owned a gym, and I would put it on the gym floor, and I would let people experience their favorite digital workouts there. I mean, when I walk into a gym and I see, whether it's in the group fitness room or it's in the weight room, why wouldn't you have spaces for people to put their phones and their devices while they watch the workout they were just handed? I mean, the group fitness room should have several spots to do this, right? So these are the things that serve people.
And Trisha, do you remember when cell phones used to be banned in the club? Like, God forbid I got a phone call and I was on a treadmill. It was like, you know, I don't know,
Yeah.
the security
Yeah.
guards came out and
Yeah.
literally once my phone got taken away. It was humiliating, but don't worry, I
Yeah.
didn't post about it on social
I
media.
would treat every digital partner, whether it's Fitness Plus by Apple or any other service, I would really think about them as a digital partner you didn't have to spend the money on, right? So you want people to do their digital workouts in your space, whether it's a digital workout you're providing like a Swerve or any other brand that they're bringing into the space. You have to provide that.
Now that's interesting. Now the other thing is we just got a comment. Diane, she said she's so blessed in Singapore these days because they have more certified instructors than they can give classes to, and all the pools are full on, which means the aqua classes are full on. That's pretty interesting. And Melissa said the same thing. Aqua seems to be growing. I think part of it is because the CDC documented that the chlorine has 6 times the strength to kill the coronavirus and bacteria. And since we have a growing active aging, Gail's laughing at me, and we have a growing active aging clientele base, and they're terrified of getting sick. I mean, look, poor Trisha sounds like you sound like an 85-year-old man right now. What flu bug do you have? And are you going to test yourself? I hope not. I hope those days are over. But one of the key factors contributing to the shortage of group fitness instructors, and how can this be addressed? Anybody? Stacey, I tend to kind of agree with you. I like that I can get the music, get the choreography, get the video, and I even have like an app I can use that's going to show me it quickly, and I can get these instructors out there. I don't live in a suburb like Melissa. It's hard to find good instructors.
It is. I mean, actually, we're opening our first studio in Florida, in South Florida, and I'm telling you, all those gated communities, and it's not just Florida that has it, but all these gated communities, they also have studios inside their gated communities. So that, you know, you're really thinking about thinning out the instructor base. I wanted to touch on what Melissa and Gail are saying. You all have created beautiful communities, and that kudos to you. That's why people are coming. You know, I have conversations often with Josh Keenum at One Life and Atlanta. He's like, they're fine with the group fitness and the instructors, and they're doing really well. And it's about you supporting your team. And that's another way that you really can create that retention and attract instructors, new instructors. We put out an APB for instructors down in South Florida, and you know, just because of our interaction and the outreach that we did and the way we connected with them, we immediately filled the spots for teachers. So I think it's really a lot about your leadership and the culture you create. So it's going to play a major part. Everybody's looking for community, right? Yeah. Everybody wants to be together.
And Gail, you shared with us a very interesting method you're using to find new instructors, which it kind of like the hair on the back of my neck went up, but I was still impressed.
So I was going to add on to what she said before I tell you. I'm literally at night, because I'm in Boots at night, Normatec Boots. I scroll through Instagram. I'm in Instagram. I'm going to use the word. I just scroll people. I'm a stalker. And I just start stalking people. Oh, this one looks good. Where do you teach? Where are you from? I start stalking people. And funny enough, I get a lot. I think I've hired about 20% of instructors from Instagram and Reels. Because they're really good. They're live, and you can tell from their energy they have a packed room. But what I was going to say to you guys, that with social media running a company versus a private studio, if you're videotaping, you have to be careful who is in the videotape, because it's a liability ready to happen, and we get slammed with that a lot. We've had a member.
Well, what they could do Gail, what people are doing now that really helps is that in their membership agreement, they put a clause in, we are allowed to use your image and your likeness in
I
any
don't
way,
know
shape,
if
or
Crunch
form
does
without
that yet.
compensation.
I don't know if Crunch does that yet, and I don't even know
They
who's
should.
I
All
don't
of
even
you,
reading the
all of
fine
you
print.
guys should.
I know. So if the instructors are videotaping the classes, because we put it out on social media, a member sees themselves, they don't like how they look, especially if the class goes left and she goes right and she stands out. They call us up and complain. We have to take the video down. So, but in reference to instructors, I recruit off of Instagram and Facebook now. And somebody knows somebody that knows somebody that comes back to me and tells me about somebody that says something. You know?
Yeah,
But
Trisha,
it's the best
Gail,
way. It's
Gail,
no more.
I just have one comment. You know what that I call that? I call
What?
that you're an HR hustler. You're just
Exactly.
hustling, just hustling, just getting it.
Telling
Love
you,
it.
man. And once you find
Do
them,
it.
I start searching now Facebook, then I go to LinkedIn, and I go to Facebook, come back down. I mean, I'm definitely a stalker, and they're impressed. But what I was going to add on about community is that I have 6 gyms. I have about 160 instructors, and we acquisition 3. That's how I have 6. And when we acquisition it, it was a corporate coming over to franchise Crunch. If you're a Crunch employee, and I would say we lost 60% of the instructors because when we took over, they wanted to leave. And we're like, okay, fine. So my boss's attitude was like, fine, let them. So they left. Within 30 days, they all came back because there was no work out there for them because positions are in. So now I have to do, I call it the dirty work of bringing them into the fold to say to them, you're part of a community now. So they were amazed at little things like we give you free CPR, we give you shirts, we give you discounts and certifications. When you need a class coverage, they've never had directors before stepping behind the scenes, say, okay, what do you need? Because I'm always behind the scenes looking at, they put it out the next gem. I don't know if you guys have heard of that company. They put it out and they expect it to be covered. I will grab it and say, what are you looking for? What's going on? You're sick? Okay, I'll take care of it. And that's building the community and building my relationship with them to say, wait, I go to this club and they don't treat me this well. I just text 4 instructors the other day. All 4 of them had COVID. I said, hey, sorry I didn't check in sooner. How are you guys feeling? And they're like, thanks for checking in. Those little things help to build my community of instructors because they don't get that service anywhere else. It's a lot of work, but that little extra text helps. That's what I run with.
Yeah, Melissa?
I think the one thing that we have to look at, and this is really popular in Atlanta, is the average age of instructor in Atlanta is probably between 40 and 60. And when those of us at that age hang up our boots, we're going to be in trouble because the up and coming younger fitness crowd don't want to work as hard. They don't want to create choreography. They don't even want to learn Les Mills. I teach so many kinesiology students who should love to move, and they don't like to move anymore. During COVID, we created people that were used to doing the minimal amount of work and still getting an outcome. And young people still have that mindset. It's amazing what they think they're going to walk out with a kinesiology degree and be able to do and the money they think they're going to make. So I think Sarah, what's the average age that comes to Mania?
Our average age is actually last year was 47 and this year it's approximately 54.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty fascinating, but it's getting younger. Okay. We also did something where we offer scholarships to students that want to be one of our staff assistants. So we've been publicizing that, and we've gotten a bunch of, funny enough, I was talking to Mo Hagan about this. We do a lot of scholarships, like scholarships for Michael Scott Scudder that want to attend business sessions. My dear friend Achara Sisawa passed away in December of last year. And so we offer scholarships for personal trainers. And we also do scholarships, our student scholarships for students, and they get a free conference. And it's interesting, those individuals that are applying for those scholarships, they're younger. The majority of them are younger. It's not because I asked their age, it's because I asked for a photo. So either there's a lot of really good lighting going on, or these people are really younger that want to enter the industry, but it's expensive for them.
I do want to say one thing I was having. If you guys go to my Facebook page, I just told Sarah, I just put up an article, not an article, a comment I made about the new
Great article.
It's like
Yeah.
and I was frustrated today. I was talking to Patrick Godot, you know Patrick, and he's like, "Girl, you go ahead and you go post that." So I did. I think I have over like 90 comments on the post. But what came to light was the directors that are coming in are enter trainer directors. They're more concerned about how many classes they're going to teach a week and not worried about building the communities and building the education level, because like you just said, it's a new generation coming in. So the people like myself, the Melissas and the older generation, the boomers, somebody who's rolled boomers, we know how to build that community. So I think the new clubs are just trying to get, oh, you have a packed house, I'm going to give you the job as a director, and they have no idea. All they know is, oh, I need the class covered, I'll go teach. Oh, I need this class covered, I'll go teach, because in their mind, they're getting paid for the class and getting paid to be a director, but not cultivating and sending people to SCW Fitness or CamFit Pro, to these places to get educated. And I hate to say this, the people that are on this screen right now, how many people we have on this screen? We have, I can't even see the number in it, 68
Right.
people here.
Yeah.
We're preaching to the wrong people. These are the people that are here because they want to learn from us. It's the other 68 people that we need to bring in to understand that. And they, I hate to say that, they really don't care, because, hey, I'm just going to go in and teach and walk out the door. 2 instructors of mine got fired last week because they walked past the front desk and blew past, and the manager goes, "Excuse me, who are you?" And she goes, "I'm the instructor. I'm here to teach." And the manager goes, "You need to check in." She goes, "No, I don't." She goes, "Yes, you do." She goes, "Don't speak to me like that." The manager looked and said, "You're fired." We let that class get canceled because of the pushback and the attitude of the employees. We don't need that.
Well, and Gail, I'm going to ask
Crazy.
you, and I'm going to ask everybody on this panel. I think the pandemic really affected us. And I think it affected, I mean, I've got 4 sons. They're all of a certain age, right? They're all between the ages of 26 and 32, 33. And I look at them, and when I post a job opening, I got coached by my son's girlfriend. She's in HR, and she said, "Sarah, you put in work-life balance." She said, "Switch it. It's life-work balance." And also, like, I go and I take yoga, and I got so frustrated because the girl that walks in to teach, she sits there and she's meditating. Her eyes are closed and she's breathing, and she's sitting in front of everybody in the class on the little stage. She's not welcoming anybody in. She's doing her own meditation. I was like, "Oh my, I'm glad you're mellow, because I want to stab you now." Okay. And then she never went around and touched anybody. And I think they were kind of brought up to teach, don't breathe on each other, don't touch each other. And maybe it's a product of this pandemic. And maybe, like, I asked Sean Carlson, who does our Mania brochures and selects sessions, I said, "I'm going to teach yoga touch next year. How to touch people in a yoga class." Like, I'm just kidding. But it's we need to connect again. And Tricia, what do you see from the new instructors that you guys are certifying and bringing in through Fit Pro programming?
I mean, I guess I see a really different side of young instructors. I think a lot of young instructors are really looking for mentorship and are very excitable. I have been blown away over the course of the past sort of 5 years at how many people go through an education and then want further, they want to take the conversation further. They want to do better. They're posting. We have this Facebook group. I think, Sarah, you're on there. It's like 5,000 of our instructors, and they care. They share playlists. They're part of a community, but they're also really looking for those of us in the industry who are older to give them the support and the leadership of how to do it better. And I said to a team of instructors the other day, I did a thing with a collegiate group, and I said, remember, every class you walk into, every experience you teach, it is first you and then you. So the whole hour is about them. And at the end, you can share a little bit of you and give them a piece of you, but let the entire experience be about them. And I think that is something we always did back in the day because we worked so hard on the music and the choreography and all those things. So again, I really think there's a lot to be hopeful for. And I think we have to also remember that we've got instructors in that age group that maybe they haven't learned to build community in person, but man, they know how to do it online. And boy, they know how to respond to comments. So how do you parlay that and help them see that? And the professionalism stuff, by the way, we were those dummies too, right? Like I remember being, 25 and walking into the gym and probably wearing, my thong over my tights and thinking I was hot. You know what? I don't know what my behavior was like, right? So again, yeah, I think we're in a much better space if we just think about how quickly we can mentor new trainers into it.
Yeah, Stacy, what are you seeing? You're certifying so many different people in 4 different programs.
Yeah.
What do they want? And I'm looking here on all the people on the call, and a lot of us are more experienced instructors, have been around, and we're the group fitness coordinators now, or at least we're the lead instructors, and we got a little bit of influence. So what are you seeing with your?
I'll tell you where we really see success is when the director, the operator, mainly the director, gets behind. When the director decides, I am ready to bring in something new, they're ready to take on that project and they get behind it. That is such super success because the implementation from the start to the end, from recruiting or researching a new program, recruiting and building excitement about the new program and the training and recruiting those instructors, to marketing the new class and building excitement for the members, to throwing, I don't know, hosting pop-up classes before it's actually officially launched, just making that's where we've seen huge success. And that comes again from the team, building that community, building that excitement, marketing well. Is it a job? Yeah. It is a job. It's a project that the director has to take on. But no matter what you do in your gym, your association, your studio, if you really put your efforts into whatever the next thing is, you're going to find success. So, and we've seen all ages, which is great. We see all ages on the online course. And I'm thinking about even the studios. I travel a lot. I love taking classes everywhere I go. I'm sorry, there's a lot of young instructors out there. And they're at, the exponentials, core power yogas, or even in, smaller individual studios. And so I see it all. I'm going to go back to the community and the culture of what you're creating, because they don't know, they don't know what's happening, even though you have the beautiful community in Atlanta where Melissa teaches. You might not have the same thing in the crunch in Florida, and they're not doing well.
Yeah. And it's interesting. There was a wonderful comment. I'm going to scroll up a little bit. Tori shared with us, Tori Lord, she shared, this generation is more fearful and less engaged. So putting them in a position to have doors open to them, it's scary. And we have an obligation, guys. And I remember when Mania presenters used to be so competitive with each other. I mean, I was like, what did you think of that class? Da, 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 da. What did they do here? No, I'm like, I have no time for this. I have 4 kids and a dog, and God knows, oh yeah, a husband of 41 years. So I don't feel like I see that as much. Stacy, kind of agree with you. Tricia, seeing younger people. I agree with the mentorship. Gail, I love how you're supporting people, helping them. We used to cross our arms and say, find your own sub. And I think we have to shift that attitude a bit. Yeah. And maybe that's what's working, Melissa, that in your facilities. Are your instructors younger, older, mixed?
The majority of them are my age and have been teaching 20 plus years and have been teaching for the clubs since the first one opened, and they're not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere.
No.
It's very interesting. All right, guys, I can't even believe we're at time, which is crazy. And I do want you guys to take a look, if you would. I'm going to share the screen. We have California Mania coming up at the end of this month, March 22nd through 24th. Right after that, we have our Florida Mania coming up at the beginning of May, May 6th through 8th or 4th through 6th or beginning of May.
First week of May. First weekend of May.
First week. Thank you, Gail.
First week of May.
These wonderful ladies are joining us at the conference. You can see we've got wonderful schedules coming up. Take a look at our schedule. We will throw into the chat box how you guys can get to the California site. Check out these classes. If you are looking for new programming, copy. See what is being offered. We got a ton at the beginning of the year of brand new classes people are offering. Melissa Lane is she's doing an aqua class with us. She's doing her nutrition lectures with us. Gail, I don't ever want her to leave the stage with all the programming she offers. And I'm really excited to welcome Tricia is actually going to be teaching a bar class with us. Yay. So we're very excited about that. But download this, look at the brochure, see what people are offering and what's going on. There's like 200 sessions that are going on at the convention. And we really want you guys to grow, help our industry grow, stay committed to medical fitness, welcome the younger participants that are coming in that we want them to be instructors, mentor them, try new programs. Stacy's 4 different programs. Try Tricia with the Fit Pro programming that formerly was Xavier. And that's it. Carter, thank you for planning this. Thank you all for joining us this evening. And we hope to see you next month at our next webinar.
Thank you, Sarah.